Claire graduated just like a lot of people, with a ton of debt, not much understanding of what she studied the last 4 years. They said that cyber was the way to go, that is where the money is. Art can't pay the bills, Claire, but a nice office job with a 401k will. So when she finally graduated, she assumed that she would find a spot easily to put her sort of knowledge of computer systems and cyber management to the test. Months that had gone by, though, and she was starting to get worried. But worrying would only intensify when everything seemed to be finally going right. Ding. New email. 10:37 a.m. from Madeline Forster, 94. Subject: job, job, job. Exclamation point. Claire, the company I work with, Sterling Systems Cybernetics Limited, is hiring, and you must apply. The position is for a coder using Python and Java, and I know, blah, but what you don't know you can easily find out online. There is an aptitude test to apply to show that you know the basics, but you should be fine. Here's the link. Complete the test, add your resume, and I'll put in a good word for you. Maddie. Well, this was it. The break Claire needed. Python, she knows that. Java, well, that's a different story. It's an archaic old system that she struggled with immensely, but she was confident that she could just make it all work out. I mean, she had to. She had already moved into a spot of her own, and the bills had already begun to pile up. That, and along with her credit card debt. So she clicked the link and saw the test. It might as well have been in a foreign language, because to her, none of it made sense at all. Was she out sick that week in school, or what? She began to panic, frantically writing Maddie, "Girl, OMG, this test? I don't know if I can do this. I keep trying to get the coding to work, but it isn't happening. I don't know what is wrong. See." Maddie was prompt with a response. "Hey, I understand. I took the same test and I had no idea what was going on. There's a way, though. I found someone online that can help. Like I said, you just have to get in. Once you're here, it's nothing like that stuff. Just, here's the guy's number. Maddie." There it was, 10 digits. This was supposed to help her? It was a little weird, but Maddie has already been helping her by just letting her know that there was a job out there. It made Claire uncomfortable, but she had to do what needed to be done. She punched in the number in her phone and called. Ring, ring, ring. The call answered with seconds of dead silence until a voice said, "How did you get this number?" Claire stammered. I heard you could help with some coding." "How did you get this number?" The voice replied, annoyed. "Oh, sorry, my friend Maddie." "Forster?" Yes." "It'll be done." The phone hung up. Claire sat there confused and unsure of what transpired, but within minutes she received an email from an odd address. It was it. The test. Completed. At the bottom of the email it read, Per our services, consider the first one free. If you need anything, we do it all, for only a small fee. This was the break Claire needed, and she didn't even have to pay. It must have been her lucky day. She didn't have time to think about this, though. She had to complete this application. She received a phone call a few days later to come in for a formal interview. The hiring coordinator was extra impressed with her test results. "Honestly, we haven't seen this level of work in some time. We really want to commend you on your comprehension, as here at SSCL, we want people who know and can do the work, and obviously you get that. Really, we'd love to extend an offer to you." This was it. Finally, maybe this was the right path, the right plan, the way to a future after all. Claire's first day went spectacular. Well, up until she got her first assignment. Ding. The email came in. Claire, this is a tough one, but we know you can handle it. She opened the assignment and a wave of anxiety flooded her body. She felt like those cartoon characters when their color completely drains out of them when they see a ghost. She was studying the systems, but this was such a far more advanced skill set and knowledge than anything she's even been remotely ready for. Ping. New email. We'd like to commend you using our services. If you need us for any reason at all, we're happy to fulfill any desires. And there it was. Claire called again. Claire, what can we do for you? The voice stated. She didn't stop to wonder how they knew it was her, how they knew her name, just that she needed to get this work done. I need your assistance, but I don't know how to pay, she responded. Oh, Claire, we don't need your money. How about you just give us something of yours that you think is fair? The voice replied. What, like jewelry or something? If you think that's an adequate trade, we'll assess and consider your offer. Well, I do have a necklace my mom gave me. That will do. The phone hung up. It was too good to be true. Which we generally know usually always is. But life happens so fast, and Claire, despite trying to learn her job, consistently found herself relying on the services of this unknown. Each time the barter went in a different, increasingly emotional value. When she had the money to pay, they flat out refused. And it all culminated in one last big assignment. Claire was up for promotion. They explained to her that it wouldn't be as intellectually stimulating as the work that she's been used to. But they like her drive and her ability to motivate. In fact, this job was the job Claire was right for all along. Cyber management. She just needed to finish this one last big project, and then she wouldn't have to worry about this Python and Java and coding languages that have become increasingly more foreign to her than anything she's ever seen. She just needed to place that one last call. Hey, I need your assistance. She came out, quick, on the phone call. Claire, you've been coming to us for some time now, and we don't mind helping you. However, we really honestly had always hoped that you would have helped yourself by now. Frankly, we're rather disappointed in you. But we would never not help somebody. It's just that things need to be far more interesting for us to assist you, the voice responded. What do you need? I have an heirloom I can part with. It was my grandmother's. I have to get this work done, Claire pleaded. What we want is unconventional. But if you are willing to part with valued heirlooms, like you are willing to part with the trinkets of your past, what we want is something from your future. Future? We want your firstborn. What the fuck? Take it or leave it, Claire. I'm sure you can finish this on your own. You say the word. The phone hangs up. The phone hung up. Claire was left in a state of shock. What the fuck would someone want with someone's firstborn child? Claire's single, unsure of whether or not she even wanted children at all, was left perplexed. She continued to think to herself, I mean, would I even ever have kids? This is so messed up. But I have to get this job. I have to complete this project. Fuck. Her mind raced for hours as the deadline drew closer and closer. Finally, with limited time and no real understanding still of what her position has been this entire time, she made the call. It's done, the voice responded. Claire loved her new job. She had no stress. She was actually good at this. She knew what was going on. Weeks turned to months, and she felt more and more confident in her work, in her abilities, in herself. And that's when she met Mark. She didn't think of anything at all about it when it first began. Just this awkward guy had a way of charming her. Months moved to years. Years moved to bigger and bigger moments, an engagement, a shared living space, a marriage, a house, new cars, and conception. With the whirlwind of life, it is easy to forget the promises you may have made in the past. But some people do not forget. And some people make sure you know they do not forget. Ring. 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 Hello? Claire answered. Hello, Claire. A shock went down her spine. Pins and needles filled her entire body. A voice she would never forget, yet somehow misplaced. Per the terms of our agreement, it seems you are finally ready for payment. The end.